Hey gamers, welcome back to a brand new DSP video. We are going to be watching this little clip from the Kiwi Farms Josh interview that DSP had, and we're going to go over the Derich segment because it's a wild segment, I tell you what. So let's get going.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out
Shout
for
out to
hate.
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out for
Shout
hate.
out for hate.
Do you know a guy named Derich or Derich?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Okay,
he's like a supporter, moderator, and like thumbnail maker for your stream, right?
Wrong on all three counts. He's
Technically you could argue he is a supporter twofold. One, because he's a fan. Wouldn't you consider like any person that's a fan of you as support? Like, he doesn't need to be monetary, correct? That's one. Secondly, he technically did support DSP financially, if you think about it. He stole his mom's credit card. Then he would harass people on Twitch to cheer Phil, asking him questions. So in a way, that is supporting financially. He would just have to bother people who are watching DSP stream to cheer for him. But that's still support, man. He's still getting that money, man.
he's not a supporter. He's not a moderator, and he's never made a thumbnail for me whatsoever.
The thumbnail is, I'll say, like, it may be a nugget of truth, guys, because the gameplay thumbnails and the throwback thumbnails, you can argue, are not done by Derich. But how come, there was like a few chat posts where Derich was talking about making thumbnails for DSP Reacts, and then when he went on his little vacation, for a period of time, there were no thumbnails for DSP Reacts. DSP vs. the Internet did not get thumbnails the moment Derich left. Like, how did that make sense? How did that work? You know, like, what happened there? Was the person who's making thumbnails trolling us and making us believe it was Derich? Huh? Like, what about that?
All wrong. All detractor bullshit. He's just a viewer.
Okay.
And he made a tier maker for me once or twice.
Okay, tier maker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Josh, do you have like receipts on that, or is this what you've heard, or is this what's in his thread, or what?
Well, his response is there's definitely a relationship. Or
I'm gonna say this. I think that that this part is kind of like forced. I don't think they didn't need to do this to get to where they were trying to get to. Like, they could have just said, like, you know, Derich, and be like, yeah, man, and then it's like, okay, so like, you know, people have over the years have told you and tried to confront you about Derich and his habits and all this other stuff, and you didn't seem to respond to that or seem to have an opinion. Do you have an opinion on that? Like, they could have approached it on that angle, which I think would make more sense and would actually be more direct. This just seems like they wanted to be a little bit more like tactful, but I don't think you need to be tactful when it comes to Derich, because Derich is like a very loud segment in DSP's like lore. But whatever. When
I say relationship, I mean there's definitely like
that's my opinion on it.
But his response is actually it falls through a crack. I don't know how to respond to that because the guy.
How does his response fall through a crack? The dude asked him like, "Do you know Derich? He did this," and he's like, "No, he didn't." How does that fall through a crack? Unless he was gonna bring up the DSP React thumbnail situation, but he doesn't. Like, that's what I thought was a little like, you're trying too hard when you didn't need to, you know? Like, you could have just said, hey, you brought this up, but whatever. Let's continue.
Like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah,
and he definitely has like playlists of like little girls and stuff on his YouTube. Like, that's archived independently of the forum. But
what do you think?
I think I remember seeing like his badge in chat though, that he had a supporter, like a mod sword or something.
No, that you're seeing someone gifted him a membership.
He never got a mod sword.
Just a gifted membership. Anyone can get that.
No one. He would never mod Derich, and again, like you could argue he should have been mod if you think about it, because he kept getting impersonators. Secondly, like, wouldn't like people were like doxing Derich, saying like a lot of personal stuff about Derich that DSP would not get. So wouldn't it make more sense for Derich to be modded to like kind of curb that? But you know, he never did. But probably because, you know, he doesn't want the trouble. But Derich attended every stream, by the way. So like just as a basic rule of thumb with mods, I mean, Derich is like the ideal like chatter you would want to have as a mod to a degree, of course, but like, you know, but Derich is also a fucked up individual, so, you know, maybe that's why he didn't mod him either. He knew what he was into, you know.
Says he has no power whatsoever on my streams whatsoever.
But he's
Okay.
allowed in your streams, though.
Yes, he is.
But he has playlists of little kids.
Okay, see,
on
that's
the
a
YouTube
good
channel.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good response. Like, you allow him in your chat, and you have like, but this guy has like problematic and fucked up playlists and problematic tendencies. Like, whatever.
Shall,
you know?
shall we publicly address this formally? This is
Let's-
good.
let's
We can
address
finally do
this.
this.
Man, why is he
talk about
excited to
real
talk about
life.
this?
Sure.
Why
Like,
is
All
he
right.
allowed to be a member of your community when he's such a creep?
whatever.
That's the one thing that's really fucked. Yeah.
Here's my philosophy. You guys can completely
Yes.
disagree as streamers yourselves, and everyone out there watching, you may also disagree as well. All right, but allow me to lay down my methodology here.
Sure.
Okay, I'm a content creator.
His methodology is not like unique, by the way. It's just, oh, I see a lot of people from all walks of life. Like, anyone can say that about their fucking videos. Like, yeah, I upload a video, and I'm sure a lot of people all over the place watch my videos.
Every day
Whatever.
I put on a stream. I'm trying to entertain an audience. I'm trying to make a living. I got a chat. People come in, people come out. I see people from all walks of life, people from here, there, and everywhere who attend my streams. And I don't judge anyone for anything but what's going on in my stream. Okay.
Then why did you
If I-
judge? Why did you judge OIC when they went on Asian Proper's stream? Literally, like OIC came into chat and he's like, "Why were you with Agent Proper? Oh, why were you on the Detractor channel? Why?" Like, that's kind of judging what he did outside his streams. He's done this before multiple times, by the way. It's very inconsistent as well. He'll give some people a pass for what they do outside his streams, but other people he'll hound about what they're doing, pick a side, and this and that. Like, he has done this before. This is all like not circumstantial, but situational. Like, if it looks like, you know, it's all situational and how he wants to be presented to people. Like, it's not gonna sound very cool if you went on Kino Casino and said, "Yeah, I care about where you are, where you watch," but when he's not on Kino Casino and he's in his own little streams and he thinks that no one's watching, he'll tell you, "Why are you in another person's chat? What did you say?" Like, he banned Third Eye the Third years ago at this point for being in someone else's chat and saying DSP is stupid or some shit, and he banned him. So you banned him for something he did outside your stream chat, but I thought you said you don't care. Huh?
If I see someone in this stream doing something disgusting, having awful things said, or they're breaking the rules, they're out of it. I have rules laid out. Actually, my stream, I think, is a little bit more lax than others because I used to be known as like the moderator heavy guy, and now I almost don't have any moderators anymore.
Now, this is the problem I've said about his streams for years, is that he really let it get to him. When people were saying that his chat's a Nazi chat and all this other stuff, it's an overcorrection. Because on one hand, it's like, at the end of the day, it's your chat, DSP. Like, you should moderate it for the greater good of your community, correct? Like, why not ban people if they're disobeying the law? Like, the rules. Because if you don't do that, like, this has been an ongoing issue that his moderation is completely inconsistent. Like, today, like, just recently, he made it okay for you to say champions in chat, and I think he said something else that you could say now that was a banned term. But what's to say, in a month from now, those will be banned again? Like, it's not very clear about how he runs his moderation. It's inconsistent. And all of it's off of the idea of, like, I don't want to be seen as a guy that bans people and this and that. But you have rules. Like, and a lot of the times people are complaining about being banned is because they might have said something that they don't think was that bad and they got banned for it. But if it is that bad to you, you could just say, well, sorry, man, but, like, you know, or whatever. But that's why chats have timeouts. Like, he doesn't need to outright ban people. He could time them out so they understand, okay, this is not something I should keep doing or whatever. Then you ban them when they keep doing the bad behavior. But he doesn't do that. So his chat is trash.
I kind of handle it all myself. But anyway, my philosophy is what goes on in my stream is the extent of my responsibility as a streamer to take care of. Now, anyone out there who makes content, Do you personally know every single person who's on your stream? Do you know what their life is like behind the scenes? Do you know what kind of stuff that they're into? What, their kinks, their bullshit, what they
kinks.
post on their social media? Of course not. How on holy hell would any of us ever know?
It's so funny he's saying this, but the other funny thing is there are segments where he literally inspects people's YouTube channel. Like, he literally inspects other people's YouTube channels if they're in chat sometimes. I mean, on one hand, it's like, yeah, if you want to check when it's created, I think that's fine. So you know that if it's a sock, whatever. Sure, depending on the situation with that. But he has gone on, like, rants about the stuff they uploaded, or like, wow, this guy's a YouTube channel, he doesn't upload any videos, man. Even though, like, when you make a YouTube account, YouTube gives you a channel.
Know what all of our viewers are doing, nor is it in our realm of responsibility to have to actually look into that. You understand?
Then why did you talk about OIC being on a detractor stream? Like, why was that such a big deal? That's where he got the why from. Use your brains. I know you have some. We had that because OIC went to a detractor stream. Whatever. Okay.
And these people are just here to watch me. That's all I care about.
May I just okay? So I understand what you're saying. You don't know everyone's backstory. You can't control everyone. Makes sense. But we have verifiable evidence that Derich is a pedophile. He has playlists of.
Now this is like wild. So this is a 24-minute like segment, and not once has DSP argued how how would I know that this evidence is legitimate and not like fraudulent? I've seen a lot of Derich impersonations. I've seen so much stuff emailed to me. Like, it's hard for me to take that stuff kind of seriously when people have lied about other chatters before or whatever. Like, there's a lot of other ways for DSP to defend him not banning him or not knowing fully about what Derich has been up to. But he never argues that. It's kind of funny to me because it is he says that when it comes to him. Like, oh, DSP, why don't you show us your WWE champions? Why don't you show us your PayPal account or whatever the fuck? If I showed you that, people would say it would be Photoshop, so like there's no point, man. And this and that. But Derich, that for some reason, he never uses oh my god. What am I trying to say? That defense. He never brings that up. And it's like, dude, this is like that's a good argument to make. Like, I don't how am I supposed to know? I mean, he's wrong if he's about that, but if someone then says, well, it is because of X, Y, and Z, he could then say, okay, since you guys say it's verifiable and I tend to believe you or whatever, that is fucked up and I will ban him. I don't want that kind of guy in my stream chat. And that's where it would end. Like, the fact that this is a 20-minute segment is truly insane to me. But let's keep going.
Of kids, and it's really weird fucking shit. And this is the one thing Ashton and I are like, what the fuck is
what the fuck
I
is
get
this
what you're
shit?
saying.
And
I get
Josh
what you're saying.
looked into it yesterday. Let's let Josh. Josh, what do you think about what Phil just said?
Yeah.
It's not just this. I mean, knowing about it, like when you find out, like you have to do something about that. And from what I understand, the big point of contention is not just that he's there; it's that other people, who are in your community, who are in your chats, have pointed out that this guy is who he is, and he seems to be getting a layer of protection that people are able to observe. He seems to get away, according to the people.
He
that
is
watch,
getting protection. Literally, Derich has told DSP to ban people, and DSP would then ban people. Come on.
With a lot more than other people would.
And I like it. I like this little laugh he does.
People are able to observe.
People are able to observe, like literally saying, like, people have seen this happen.
He seems to get away, according to the people that watch. He gets away with a lot more than other people would.
What's so funny? What's so funny?
I want
to know.
It's suspicious to them. I don't know. I've not seen this, but that's what. That's what they say.
So you don't even know what they're saying. You just think that somehow he's getting some kind of protections in my stream, is what you're saying.
He is. Literally, anyone that spams just gets timed out, banned, or whatever the fuck. And they also get told, like, very harshly, like, okay, did I see this bar? I got a bid. Okay, you're out of here, mister. Whatever the fuck. Derich spams, okay, Derich, I see what you're saying, okay? Like, let's move on, man, okay? Alright, man. And that's it. He never, like, bans him. It's like what he did to Lights for Soul, where Lights for Soul would say dumb shit every day, and we would get daily warnings for Lights for Soul. And it took Lights for Soul to charge back tips for him to ban him. Yeah, he said, oh, it was because he called my community autistic. No, that wasn't why. That was a smokescreen. It was because he charged back tips, which is a very good thing to, like, admit, right? Correct?
Yeah, either from people in the chat calling it out or just in regards to his behavior. Like, apparently he spams a lot and he gets a pass with that, and people suspect that there is some kind of association there where he gets a pass. Like, for instance, with the thumbnails, because they say that he has like a monthly vacation, and during that vacation, the style of your thumbnails changes, and that is how...
That's a little silly. Like, what does that have to do with getting protected in chat?
They come to the conclusion that the thumbnails are being made by him.
Okay, that makes sense. But it's not a monthly vacation. He was away for a month, and then for a month, like, DSP Reacts didn't have thumbnails. Like, that's what Josh was trying to say.
Because they don't get made by him when he's gone.
He's literally never made anything like that for me whatsoever.
Then what happened? Then why did DSP versus the internet suddenly stop getting thumbnails?
He's, like I said, the only thing he's ever made is 2 tier makers, I believe.
Whatever.
Over the last year.
So he has made stuff, though.
He 2 tier makers, and one that I used on a stream and one I did not.
But brother Phil, like, you can't have a pedophile making stuff for you and part of your community in a broad sense, right? Like, you should probably just ban the fucking guy and send him packing, and I think you'd get a lot less shit if you did.
Here's the thing, you're right.
Here's the thing, you're right, I should ban him. But
you're absolutely right. You guys are correct.
This is insane. I don't know why DSP was, like, so excited to say this. It like, if you agree, then why is there 24 minutes?
I would right now to say enough is enough. Too many people have issue with this guy. Ban him.
Sure.
Okay. But why didn't, like, he realizes this is him creating the monster of this dumbass fear of, like, whatever, right? Because people have told him for years that he didn't like Derich. His own chat. His own fucking chat. And just because, like, this is the truly dented part. And I'm getting a little ahead of the video, by the way, but he says it's because if I ban Derich, the trolls will win. What kind of fucking defense is that? Like, dude, you're really, like, just because the trolls agree with your own fucking viewers that he should be banned, you're not gonna ban him because of the trolls? That's really stupid. Because with that logic, if the trolls start to agree with the chat about something and you decide not to do it because of the trolls, like, what does that make you look like? This is not a good argument.
Okay. That would solve that problem. However, the big picture that no one's looking at.
Let's solve that problem then.
Okay, but listen.
Go ahead.
You don't understand the Pandora's box that you open once you do that.
That's a very obvious, like, slippery slope fallacy. It's like you can get rid of the guy that has the
That
little
is
girl
a
playlist on
fallacy.
YouTube without opening Pandora's box. That's
No.
Yeah.
Oh, Josh, you gotta listen. All right.
You gotta
'Cause
listen.
Again,
Listen
you
up,
know
Josh.
how
Shut
bad
up.
my detractors are. Correct. You know
Alright,
how
sure.
crazy they are. The only reason that we even know anything about this person is because my detractors went to all of his personal socials and dug into them deep.
But he's a pedophile.
But they got him.
They
They got him, though.
Okay, now hold on. I know. Listen.
So just because the trolls figured out Derich's, like, fucked up shit, it doesn't matter because we wouldn't know otherwise. Okay, but, like, so we need a random fucking person who's not a detractor and may not be a DSP fan, correct? Needs to figure out who Derich is. For some reason, this random person, this random person is gonna wake up one day and say, I'm gonna look up this Derich guy. For some reason, I just feel like I need to look into Derich. And then they're gonna like, oh shit, and he watches DSP, I gotta tell DSP. That would be fine. But trolls and DSP fans who watch DSP's content, who see Derich, and they have a cursory curiosity about like a viewer, like, I mean, the argument DSP is kind of making is that like this is unsolicited to a degree, and sure, but again, like they brought this up to him and said like this, and also honestly, in my opinion, he should have been banned anyway. He spams and he's annoying, and a lot of chatters have complained about Derich, even without knowing about the shit he's into. Like, these are all, like, reasons, and these are not, like, trivial things either. It's not like, oh, well, I just don't like Derich because, I don't like that he likes Disney. Like, it's not something trivial like that you have to ban him. And, like, this is, like, it's just he brings the chat down because he asks dumb questions and DSP keeps humoring it, and then Derich just keeps spamming. He doesn't talk to anyone else in the community. It's like, it really would, like, out of all the chatters that he has in his chat, I don't think anyone would, like, let's take away, let's all assume that Derich did not have these fucked up playlists, and he's not a gooner, and he's not, like, you know, a porn addict or any fucked up shit like that. Let's assume he's not like that, and he's just a random guy that just asks a lot of annoying questions. He'd still be fucking annoying, and people would probably still dislike him anyway. Like, come on now, dog.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm not disputing
Listen.
what you guys are saying, but please let me finish what I'm
Oh,
saying.
For sure,
because
for sure.
All right. If the only reason that I know that this guy did something bad is because people went off of the realm of my streams and my content to find it, I'm sorry, but that's not my responsibility to be dealing with. Do you understand? Because here's the thing. Now, please listen.
But you know what? This is more bullshit. He tells us not every day. That's an exaggeration. But he has said in the past that the trolls need to look at who they're watching, and they need to keep an eye on the people that watch their content and understand that what they say may lead to them doing fucked up shit and all this other stuff. Now, you could look through all of DSP's content and find a lot of weird shit he says in his own fucking videos. And I said it before. It's not a surprise to me that he has attracted a very weird fan base. He has like a lot of weird people watching that unironically like him. Jade is probably like Jade for the most part. I mean, say whatever you want about Jade, but Jade at least is like, he is generally there to enjoy the streams. But DSP has attracted weird fucking people like Slayer. Popsicle I think it was Popsicle that like actually posted like furry porn or whatever the fuck in his Twitch chat years ago. And other stuff. Like there's just been weirdos in DSP's chat like all the time. And you look at the content he has put out and it kind of starts to make sense. Like again, Tevin brought this up. Watch like the Walking Dead season 2. I think it was through a react or something. Derich said a weird shit, and then that kind of spiraled people into like saying, "What? Why did this guy say this?" You know, and it just kind of happens. Now, DSP doesn't really outwardly say this, but he could have also made the argument that people were just trying to get him off, like trying to go after him and trying to ruin his enjoyment of my streams because they didn't like what he said on that one stream and this and that. And he can argue that, but again, like, what does DSP think about this? Like, this is the other aspect of this, because you can just argue, look, these are just playlists of videos. Like, what are these videos? Like, what's the intent? If they're on YouTube, for instance, they can't necessarily be pornographic because YouTube allows this. You know, like, what's to think about that? I mean, sure, it's creepy he has these playlists, but he could argue this and then say like, what was the point I was gonna make? Like, oh my god, I lost my argument. Damn it! Like, why would it? Like, oh my god. Damn it. Damn it. And it's like an important thing to bring up too, because it's like, oh, I can't think of it. Oh, like it's not really. It doesn't really confirm a lot of stuff because again, Derich did not act on any feelings that we know of. We just know that he has these weird playlists and he acts very creepy on Twitter towards porn stars, and he's very open about what gets him off on Twitter, all this kind of shit. Like DSP did follow him on Twitter, then unfollowed him very, very quickly. But like these are things that he could argue. Like, look, who's to say that this playlist was meant for that? What if there's like an explanation that we just don't know because, you know, we don't know Derich that well or whatever the fuck. But he doesn't make these arguments at all, and it's really stupid. And it's like, honestly, at the end of the day, like, what does DSP think about this? He doesn't really give his thoughts other than, yeah, guys, this is weird, but listen, if I do this, then the trolls are gonna attack other people. Like, that's not really, like, that's an opinion, I guess, but that doesn't tell us what you think about this. It's kind of like what happened with Vidar, when Vidar was, like, doing shit on Kiwi Farms, and all Kiwi Farms was telling DSP was, like, do you condone what Vidar is doing, or do you condemn it? And DSP would not say either or. It really wasn't them asking him, Phil, condemn Vidar right now. It was, DSP, what do you think about Vidar? Do you agree what he's doing right now? And he wouldn't give an opinion. And then when he tried to, he would then walk it back and say, well, Vidar, you gotta understand, you gotta, like, just lay low and relax. And it's like, yeah, okay, this isn't really giving an opinion of what he's doing. You're just kind of saying shit at this point. And he's doing it again with Derich. And it's, like, nonsense. This is actually the same shit. Now that I said it out loud, I'm realizing that this is the same kind of stuff he's doing, where he's gonna ban Derich out of just a performance, and then he's gonna wait for it to die down, and then he's gonna unban him, or tell him to make a suck. Like, it's just not gonna be, you're not gonna get what you want out of DSP doing this, because all people want was just him to ban him, like, out of principle, of, like, him thinking that this is fucked up, I don't want this guy in my community. And he couldn't even do that. I don't know why that's hard for him to, like, do. Like, come on.
Listen, I ban Derich right now, I call him Derich because that's what I thought his name was. I guess it actually is Derich or whatever. But if I ban Derich right now, here's what will happen. Because here's what Josh just said about Kiwi Farms. If he deletes my thread on Kiwi Farms right now, the detractors go somewhere else to do something worse, correct? If I ban Derich right now, the detractors won because they say, look what we did. We researched,
but that example doesn't make sense in the context he's saying, though. How, so, like, if Josh deletes the thread, how would the trolls win in that scenario? He's trying to say, like, if he, like, oh my god, this is not a good example if you think about it, right? Because DSP says that the DSP thread, it has done nothing but cause DSP harm and like, is just there to harass DSP or whatever the fuck. So him keeping Derich around is pretty much saying that he wants to keep Derich around so that the trolls will just attack him and no one else, which is kind of fucked up. Again, this is not a good argument that DSP is making, and this doesn't make him come off as a cool guy. Because let's say that these are all false allegations. Let's say that the person who found this playlist on this realized, oh shit, this is actually not the real Derich. The actual Derich is this other account or whatever the fuck. Let's all assume that what we know of Derich is all a fabrication and is not real. We find that out today. Oh my god. Why am I, like, spacing on my points lately? I guess I'm like, then all this stuff that people are going after Derich for, it was for nothing, right? Correct? I don't know. This is just weird.
Searched a guy who no one would have known he had anything wrong with him by just watching Phil's streams, for the record.
But he said weird stuff in your chat that triggered people to, ask questions.
Derich has never once talked about any of this malicious activity on my stream. He knows better than that. He doesn't.
but he said a lot of disturbing things. Like there's one chat that one chat post that I was like, what the fuck? It was like, oh my god, I don't remember it. But if you know, you know. It was like something about like, hey Phil, do you think that the cops would arrest them if they did this? It was really weird, and like I was like, what the fuck? Like who would ask that? Like just to anyone out loud, you know? Like
doesn't bring that shit. That's his personal life or whatever, right? So he does not
that's
do
his personal life.
that on my streams. If I ban him, guess what happens? The detractors say, we got the response we wanted.
His
Phil finally
personal
banned him.
If I may,
Nothing wrong with him
Look
by
at
just
this.
watching Phil's streams. For the record, Derich has never once talked about any of this malicious activity on my stream. He knows better than that. He doesn't bring that shit. That's his
He was like, God damn it, Phil, why? Let's just go all the way
But
back.
that's not my responsibility to be dealing with. Do you understand? Because here's the thing. Now, please listen. If I ban Derich right now, I call him Derich because that's what I thought his name was. I guess it actually is Derich or whatever. But if I ban Derich right now, here's what will happen. Because here's what Josh just said about Kiwi Farms. If he deletes my thread on Kiwi Farms right now, the detractors go somewhere else to do something worse, correct? If I ban Derich right now,
Yeah, I think I was saying like they would harass other people, so he keeps Derich around. So yeah, if it was found out that Derich, like all this stuff was fake, right? Then he's allowing an innocent viewer getting harassed, and he doesn't want to ban him because he's afraid that the trolls will just harass someone else, even though that's a moot point because the trolls harass other people anyway. They go like this isn't like they're not solely dedicated to Derich. Specifically, they don't like a lot of his fucking supporters anyway. So this isn't a great argument to make, and it's not even relevant to Kiwi Farms because the trolls are not going to say that it's a win if Josh deletes his thread. If anything, like they would say Josh is an idiot for deleting the thread. I'm gonna go somewhere else because Josh apparently wants everyone to stay on Kiwi Farms or some shit. Whatever.
the detractors won because they say, look what we did. We researched a guy who no one would have known he had anything wrong with him.
But this
By
is
just-
like also dumb. Like this dude, you know, again he praised trolls like Metoker for busting the escort saga as a scam. And he's like, yeah, man. Recently he gave him credit for that, but now he's like, I don't want to give them credit for anything. Like, dude, like this is like, who cares? Like, what's your opinion on Derich? Do you agree with his behavior? Like, yeah, it's outside your streams, but like, what about the optics? Like, people are gonna bring up, hey guys, you know DSP defended Derich, and this and that's gonna be a slippery slope. Like, it's a lose-lose regardless, I guess. But if he bans him, at least he can say, I banned him because this guy is a sick fuck or whatever. But he can't even do that. He can't even do that.
Just watching Phil's streams. For the record, Derich has never once talked about any of this malicious activity on my stream. He knows better than that. He doesn't bring that shit. That's his personal life or whatever, right? So he does not do that on my streams.
And then
If I
Piggy's just like, just face palming, like, what's he do? Like, god damn it, Phil.
ban him, guess what happens? The detractors say, we got the response we wanted.
His
Phil finally
personal
banned him.
if I may,
We're
I
on
have
to the next.
I have a very personal, like, because there's a very comparable story to this. The forum is having a kind of beef with this Ricada guy that you know about, and he dug through some information and he found out that one of the users is a convicted child pornographer from the District of Columbia. And when this was brought to my attention, I banned him. And sure, them finding this out was a win. You know, they won. They got to say, oh, well, the Kiwi Farms has a pedophile. We can prove it. And it's true. It's embarrassing. But I still banned him because I don't want a pedophile on my forum. Do you think that's a fair comparison?
It is a fair comparison.
Now, and again, now he says that this is a fair comparison. Again, all this could have done was, people said that he did this and he did that, and look, I don't want to accuse something if I don't know if the facts. Again, all he had was a weird playlist on YouTube, and he is a porn addict on Twitter. Like, You know, people show me that all the time. I get all this kind of stuff from people all the time saying, "Do you know about this and that?" And how am I supposed to know for sure, without a question of the doubt, that this is true and factual? And if I don't, because what if I ban someone that's innocent, like this and that? And he kind of tries to bring that up, but he kind of like just fumbles the ball for like really no reason, because he could have just said that. Then they could say, well, you know, then you could ask someone that you trust. Like, why don't you ask someone that may know more and get an outside opinion and see, like, how could it be false? How could this not be the case? Or whatever. Like, he get another opinion, but he didn't want to do the legwork, and he was like, well, I don't want to ban him because the trolls would win. But again, outside of that, Derich is an annoying presence on his stream anyway that spams. Like, even without that, he technically should have been banned a long time ago. Like, the fact that he kept him in his chat, even aside from that, has created this monster because he banned him for spamming. Do you think that we'd be talking about this? You know, like, there could have been a lot of like opportunities for this to be over with, but he just didn't do it because he's afraid of the trolls winning.
However, what you didn't let me finish this statement here. The moment I ban Derich and these detractors say we won, guess what happens? You just gave them exactly what they wanted. You gave them the attention they're craving, and then they move on to someone else.
But
like, that's not like the argument. Like, I get what he's saying, but literally that's not like this isn't the this is not the argument he should be going with, in my opinion, to say that they're gonna go to someone else. He could have just I think it would have been a better argument for him just to say, like, look, I get emails all the time saying, like, look at this and look at that. Like, how am I supposed to know that this is legitimate? Like, the YouTube playlist, for example, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was public at one point, and then since then, like, I think Derich did make it private, or he got rid of the playlist. It was something like that, I think. I may be wrong though, but I do know I know it existed though, so I know that for a fact. It did exist. But by the time DSP was like seeing that, I think Derich hid that playlist from public so no one can like bring it up anymore. So DSP could have said, like, well, how do I know this is not a doctored image, that he had this playlist to begin with, or whatever? Like, he could have said a lot of other stuff that could have been a little bit more compelling, but he didn't say that. Instead, he focused on, well, the trolls will get attention, and then they're going to do the next thing. And it's like, they're doing that now anyway. Like, they didn't just focus on Derich. They're also saying, like, this other guy is a piece of shit, whatever, right?
And then they move on to someone else.
Phil,
and then they move on to someone else until it's done.
But sometimes in life, you have to hold the L. And sometimes bad people are going to get a win. But that's just the reality. You can't have
like, again, he could just argue, like, well, if they're going after like false information or false evidence, like what does it say that they're not going to go after someone else and have false information that's not true or whatever? But he never makes that point or argument, because again, there has been false allegations in the past to many people, and I think that's like, and again, as I said, that's why, like, when this stuff of Derich started, I was like, I'm gonna wait until I see more stuff about it before I even like say this dude's fucked up. And I think he's fucked up. You know, you go to his Twitter and you'll see a lot of fucked up shit that he just retweets and he's open about. He says a lot of like creepy ass shit, and then he goes after, like, harasses porn stars that are like that's just ridiculous. Like, again, this dude, there's a lot of things wrong with Derich, and you could ban him for multiple reasons. It's not like just one thing that you can say that's what you ban him for. You can ban him for many reasons. But the fact that DSP is just like so hesitant and like has almost like no opinion on what he's saying, I think is the problematic part mostly. Like, if he wants to argue that the playlist is like not evidence enough, it's just like, it's there. Like, you can argue, sure, that this may lead to bad behavior from Derich, like, in the future and this and that. And it can lead to problematic shit that's going to be, you know, a crime. You can argue that. But at the same time, it's like, this is just a YouTube playlist. Like, he could go about this in many ways, but he never does. Because again, the thing is that it is a very touchy subject. Like, you know, you can like trip and fall over, then before you know, you're gonna be fucked. But he could have just banned him anyway, like out of principle. Like, anyone could find that playlist disturbing and just say, I don't want this guy in my community. But DSP, yet again, just is holding the detractor winning as the thing he doesn't want to act on. And it's not a good argument to make. It's a very bad argument. Like, you could have more like a nuanced opinion about this if you really want to. But DSP is not capable of that because he's a fucking dumbass. And he should have just banned him out of principle. Like, the fact, like, again, he had a playlist of, like, not even, like, anime characters, just actual, like, real girls. Like, that's kind of disturbing for a dude that's, like, what, 18? Well, now I think he's in his 20s. To have that playlist is not, like, the coolest thing to see. You know what I mean?
Pedophile in your community, like an open pedophile. And you're basically admitting he's a pedophile.
Oh, no,
and
let me tell you
saying
this.
It's okay. Okay,
I
so
will say this. I don't know anything about that because I make it.
He said, like, I knew that earlier, and now he says he doesn't know. Because the thing is, it's not that DSP lied. It's not that DSP lied. It's that he wasn't paying attention. Because they listen to a lot of stuff, and if you listen to a lot of stuff, it will confuse the little piggy, and he'll lose what was listed. Because they said that earlier with, like, other stuff that he agreed with. Like, yeah, he knew about this and that. Like, oh, I know, man. But he didn't, like, pay attention to, like, what was actually said. But now they, like, focus on that, and he's like, wait a minute, I don't know that. And it's like, but you just said earlier, like, why don't you pay attention? He's in a conversation, and he's not really paying attention that much, you know?
A philosophy. I do not personally research my viewers. I think that's fucking creepy. That I would spend my time every time that someone says something about someone, I gotta go search their socials. I gotta go to their.
Again, dude, like, people were telling him Derich is a pedophile. Derich's creepy. This and that. That's gonna, like, you're not gonna want to make sure that what's being said is on. Like. Everything aside, the fact that someone is saying this shit about your chatter, you don't want to at least see if he's that in the first place to have an informed opinion. Like, again, it's like for example, right? OIC mentioned like months ago, or last year, I think, because I think it was during Chrono Trigger, that they're transgender and they're transitioning to be, I think, a woman. Back then. Now, of course, does DSP need to research that? In my opinion, he doesn't need to. If OIC is transgender, like, good for them, whatever. If they're doing for attention, that's on that too. Like, it's whatever. But DSP doesn't need to research that because that's, like, not important. Like, okay, you're transgender, move on. But this is much more, like, heinous, and it's actually a crime. Like, being trans, at least in America, or at least it shouldn't be a crime in America because transgender, it's a big thing, whatever. But that's not a crime. But pedophilia and stuff with children, like, that is a crime, and that is, like, fucked up. So he doesn't want to look that up to see if Derich is these things that people are saying, or at least understand why they're saying this. It's the same shit I said about the what's it called? About the WWE champions. Like, about the doing the King documentary. Why not just watch that part of the documentary to understand why they think he's down from the rafters? Why not just try to understand why? But no, he doesn't want to watch that part because it's stupid. Like, there's some parts that you may have to, like, look up because people are saying stuff and you might need to be informed on what's going on. And even though he says all the time that he has people sending him information, sending him stuff about detractors and this and that, he does that. But when it comes to this, I don't want to look into that, guys. Huh?
Their YouTube page and search their history.
Wait, may I say one thing? Sorry, may I say one thing? Okay, so you're saying people did research outside the realm of your show and and
Right.
whatever. I get what you're saying there. Well, if Derek was caught and you found out that the police found something on him and he's in the middle of a trial right now and he was a pedophile, right? And it wasn't the detractors or anything. It was through legal whatever, right? Then would you ban him because it wasn't detractors?
Well,
But
how
he
would
was-
I find out about that? Like, how would I even know
A
that
fan of yours goes, I live in the same city as him and I saw him on the news, for example.
What if it was Harvey Weinstein? Like, how?
Listen to that example. Listen to that. The dude said, "Well, what if he gets arrested and he gets tried and this and that, he gets convicted, and then a fan of yours says that this has happened," and his response is, Like, he still wouldn't ban him? I mean, again, literally, you know what? We're doing a field trip. Hopefully I can find this video. I don't remember what it's called though. I should warn you, I don't know what it's called. But we're going to find it because now I'm motivated, as Virgil would say. Let's see. Oh man, what would it be called? I'm like thinking about this now. Now I'm like scared I'm not gonna actually find it. I should be adding stuff to playlists. Like frequent examples. Wait, maybe I do this? No. Damn it. Oh, I can't find it. No. Oh my god, this is bullshit. What? Like I swear I brought this video up like way in the past, but now I don't remember it. Like, can I at least remember the game he played? What would it be under? Ian? Phil Burnell is a business. I want to say it was Zelda. But man. DSP Gaming, living on the street. No. Such a huge failure. No. No is back. Is it really him? Oh my god, where is it? No, that's not it. Oh my god. Oh man. Oopsie whoopsie. Oh my god, where the fuck is this clip? No. It's not Gotti. Fighting game veteran. Oh my god, where the fuck is it? Who triggered the slowest in ages? Oh my god, this is a nightmare. There it is. Oh my god, there we go.
How could you be such a loser? But anyway, inputs, garbage matchmaking, and garbage. Do this since we don't have a lot of time. The original and best. Stupid indigestion. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was. I had a meatball grind. Thank you, Sean. Animation, by the way. That's the new large tip animation.
Look at that. Look how happy he is.
That's great. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Sean, who just tipped me not one, not two, $300.
Even got a
Holy
sound
shit.
box. Man.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
That is incredibly generous. I was not expecting that at all. That is crazy. First of all, let's get you on the leaderboard. And now, I mean, we went from $16 to Phil, or try to stick it to Phil, or be dickheads to Phil when he doesn't do well on a stream. So the viewer count was going up and up and up. At one point, it was like 320 people.
Here we go.
And now, since Sean tipped, it has now dropped 50 people. Oh shit! He did good tonight. Oh man, I need the fuck out of here, man.
This
Fucking
dude.
ridiculous. These people are.
He got money from a homeless pedo guy, and DSP is like dancing that he got paid by this person. And then we go back here.
How bad does somebody have to be?
Yeah.
And they asked him, like, if Derich was a convicted pedophile, would you ban him? And he doesn't even say yes. He just says, I mean, if Derich was a supporter, a contributor, if you will, he probably would be dancing. He'd be doing the milking dance that he does. And now he has like that animation where like coins are dropping, so he'd be like dancing all day for Derich if Derich was a whale, but he isn't. But you know, he has a very weird, lax personality when it comes to that.
Where you're like, well, I don't want to associate with this guy.
So
You know
if
what I
Hitler
mean?
was on my stream and was still alive,
Yeah.
would I ban Hitler,
Yeah.
right?
Let's go with
Adolf Hitler
extremes.
1488 was an active user on your stream. Would you ban him? Because he's only the Führer in Germany, and you don't know anything about that, right?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, that's a good point. But and I totally understand what you're saying. I do. Let me tell you, I've gotten a lot of shit over this. And here's the funny part. What the fuck does this have to do with me? It's not even anything.
You run your community, dude. And if your community is like, this guy sucks, and he's problematic and he's toxic and whatever the fuck, right? Correct? Shouldn't you like ban him? Like again, you could even like go as far as to just ignore this stuff and look at Derich's posts and still say he should be banned, because guess what? He spams, and that's against the rules. Hello?
Anything I've done or ever, I gotta take shit because someone got dirt on a viewer of mine who talks a lot in chat or whatever.
Yeah,
And
but what do you think? Like, this dude gets shown this stuff to him, and he has no opinion. No opinion. And he's like, well, guys, they found that he did this on his personal time. This is like if someone, like, tells you that a crime that they commit, and then the police are like, why didn't you report the crime? You saw this guy who was doing drugs, and he was making meth. Why didn't you report it? And my husband was like, well, that's not my life. I don't, like, it doesn't affect me. And it's like, yeah, but he did it in your house. Like, it's gonna matter. Whatever.
And again, the other things you've been told are not true. He's not a moderator. He doesn't regularly make any content for me. He's had one tier maker that I made. That's it. Like, that's literally the extent of that. And then he talks a lot.
Let's just so if he does have playlists of little girls on his channel, he's creeping on little girls. Do you disavow that behavior?
Oh, absolutely, I do. Absolutely.
Then how do you disavow it if you let him in your chat? Like, come on, man.
So you
Freaking-lutely, I do.
disavow Derich then?
Yeah, I don't condone any of that. But at the same time, I'm not going to go out of my way to find out who everyone is or what they do outside of the realm of my
Going
stream.
out of your way,
We're
though.
bringing
But like, people are bringing this stuff to you though, and again, if he doesn't think that the stuff that people are bringing up is solid or actionable, I don't know if that's the word. But if he doesn't think it's like legit enough for him to like come to a conclusion, then just say that. But he doesn't say that, and instead we get this where he's like, well, you know, I don't care what he does. I don't know, like, I don't agree with this, but I don't know. And it's like, at some point you're gonna have to come with an opinion, because people are asking him about this, and he's giving non-answers, hoping that's good enough. But it's like, if you don't agree with it and you don't support it, then why don't you just ban him? Like, he's not even giving an argument about this, like, at all. He's just kind of like just giving bullshit arguments that are not good arguments to make, by the way.
Bring it to you.
Me and Josh have both looked at it as of yesterday, saw that it was foul and disgusting, and now we're bringing it to you. We're credible. Like, I'm trying to help you.
Yeah.
If
Let me
you,
phrase it like this.
I know, but I totally understand where you guys are.
You are
I do.
totally correct that if you ban
credible, like, I'm trying to help you.
Yeah.
If
let
you-
me phrase it like this.
I know, but I totally understand where you guys are going with it.
You are
I do.
totally correct that if you ban this guy, the detractors will start looking into your
Now, when I was watching this part, it almost felt like, I think I said this in the last video, that it almost felt like that Keto Casino like just staged this interview with Josh Moon to confront DSP about Derich. And I think that's probably what they might have been aiming to do with Medicare and Mudahar. But since those two like didn't work out, they got Josh, and that's what it kind of feels like. It feels like everything else is just kind of like there to be there, but this was like the main reason why they wanted this to happen.
into your viewers harder. You are totally correct. That is a completely accurate assessment. But wouldn't you still not want this guy to be in your community or your audience and openly known as this guy?
Mhm.
Because if I'll swing it the other way, it's a no-win situation. That's correct. If you
That's right.
don't ban him, if you ban him, then the detractors will look into your other viewers, and you're completely accurate about that. But if you don't ban him,
But
if you do
again,
not-
they already kind of do, and even DSP says that anyway. Oh, the trolls are fucked up. They dox people, and again, like you could disagree that people dox stuff and dox other people and this and that, but like he says that this already happens though. But whatever, okay.
do nothing, then they will just continue to bring this up with an accurate line from the point A to point B, and it will always be there, and it will always haunt you, and people will always ask, well, why the fuck doesn't he just ban this guy if he knows about it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a no-win situation. I agree.
You're right.
But I think that
So-
one option is better than the other.
So to answer that,
Okay.
at least in my experience, and I'm 42 years old. I don't know how old you are, Josh, but I'm 42 years old. I've learned in my
Wow.
42 years on this.
There's something about that I kind of fucking like felt annoyed about. I'm 42, Josh. I don't know how old you are, but I'm this old. Like, does he think Josh is like 12?
planet
Whatever.
that I would much rather deal with the devil I know than the devil I don't. And what I mean by that is, I know who Derich is. I can't confirm or deny what you guys are saying because I've literally never
how
looked
can you
into
say
it.
you know who he is when you won't look into it?
I know who he is in my chat. I know who he is as
This
part
is
of
flat
of
out
chatting on the
delusional,
community.
though. Like, if you look at his Twitter account, it's just straight up porn.
Okay, I
Like,
believe you. You're
DSP, you
telling-
followed him. You followed him. When I used to stream on YouTube and all this other stuff, I would randomly like troll my audience, guys, and be like, "Okay, guys, that's it. We're gonna do a Derich update." But I slowly stopped doing that because I also just did not want to see what I was saying. His post got worse and worse, and it's more fucking. He needs help, man. Derich just needs someone in his life to like say, "Derich, stop it. Go get help," because man, it is disgusting, man. There's something there that needs to be diagnosed, obviously.
telling me this now as a neutral third party, correct? You're
Because
neutral.
I've never,
Yeah.
again, I've never seen anyone, at least people who I follow, just openly just like tweet even just half the shit Derich tweets. I've never seen anyone do that, and like seeing Derich, I was like, wow, like man.
Yeah,
and we
I-
think
I-
it's very foul. Like Phil, this is not like, oh, someone's kind of like an incel or weird or whatever, and
It's
or
three playlists
this
with
is, like,
hundreds of
fucked.
videos of just little girls
Yeah,
doing
this is, like,
innocuous things.
actually-
It's
Okay.
genuinely fucking creepy.
Well, if this is what you guys are telling me, then yeah, I'm gonna ban him.
If he said if this is true, I'm gonna ban him. I'm like watch this and listening to this, it really just sounds like he was trying to buy time and be like, oh yeah, man, yeah, and then hoping that they'd move on, and then he wouldn't have to ban Derek because he said F.
Ban him.
Let's
But-
go. Yeah,
But-
honestly,
but-
Phil,
but-
you should
but-
have banned
hold
him. You
on,
should.
hold
God.
on. The devil, that was the devil I knew. You understand?
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
can deal with that. I know how to deal with this guy. Talks a lot in the chat and whatever, and it's annoying to certain people. And I got to
Oh, look at that! Now that he might be banned at this point, by the way, he said, "Oh, he's annoying." He's saying this just for their sake.
people
Okay.
talk about what he does in his personal life. But now when I ban him, now I got to deal with the devil I don't know. What's the next person who's now going to get
But how is that a devil he doesn't know? You know, this is not a good thing to say. This is really brain dead. Think about it. How would he not know how to handle it? He's handling it right now. So if a troll finds someone else, that, like, he knows how to handle it then. It's really like, just change the name Derek. Like, the other dude will be the new Derek, pretty much. In this example, they'd be the new Derek. And so he knows how to handle it. What do you mean you don't know how to handle that? Okay.
get harassed by my detractors. And I don't want this to be like Phil's viewer hunt.
I
You know what I'm
understand
saying?
that, but I think regardless of what you do, your viewers are going to get harassed.
And they're still
hunted
going
down.
after
Yeah.
your other viewers, dude.
And-
They
and
still
this
are.
happened before.
Like,
Yeah, they-
We
this-
had there were
yeah.
whales on the DSP channel who got doxxed, and I think that was one of the other things where I was kind of irritated with people on the DSP board because they were doxing. Like, I don't remember his name, but there was a guy that gave you a lot of money, and
No,
simply
Josh,
because he
you have
gave
to
you a lot of money.
You have to understand something. What you're describing right now is a normal day of behavior on that forum about me. That's
Yeah.
not like the exception to the rule. That's literally what happens every time a whale shows up to support me. They get doxxed on your forum.
And that's
But like,
why
why
the
do you
Derek.
think? But why do you think that is, though? I mean, there's been people who have been doxxed. I don't think deserve to be doxxed. I mean, Jade. I don't think Jade needed to be doxxed. I mean, Jade is literally just a dude that's been watching his streams and generally enjoys the streams. Like, Jade is not like an annoying person. He's not a shitty person. He's just there to enjoy the show. But yeah, people who, like, I mean, OIC would constantly, like, just say shit. Like, OIC would attack other viewers, even DSP viewers, by the way. Like, he has people that just start shit. And of course, it's gonna, like, just go from there. Whatever.
Eric
event.
thing doesn't matter because it's like they're gonna be pieces of shit no matter what. And honestly, like we're telling you right now, I swear, Phil, we've been as nice as possible. I gotta say, this Derek guy is twisted. Like he's actually
it's just bad news.
The way
Phil,
Andy
and,
talks, by the way, it sounds like what is the thing I'm thinking of? It's I don't want to say it's like it's like a bumper. Like, wait till you see this guy, it's twisted. This movie, it's twisted. It's like the Longlegs trailers almost. Like, no one has seen Nicolas Cage, and he's twisted in this movie. But I know what I get it, but I just think it's I just think like these little like sound bites are something else.
yeah,
you
you'd be a
gotta
lot
you
better.
gotta
You'd be
get
a
rid
lot
of this
better.
guy. Like, you know,
Okay.
you didn't know until today, but now you know, and I'm just telling
You
you,
knew
man.
for a year.
if
You
you
knew
don't
for a
It
long
gets
time.
worse if you don't do anything about
You
it.
just said
It
you
gets way
didn't care.
worse if you don't get rid of him. And quite frankly, our audience isn't going to tolerate Derek, and and nor do I. I'm not
They
gonna
tolerated him. Actually, don't think about this. They did tolerate Derek. Think about it. He has been in his chat long before this little stream happened. So they did technically tolerate him. If they didn't, then why were they contributing to the king streak? Correct? But whatever. Maybe now it came to a head.
tolerate Derek either. And some people in chat are saying, why haven't you banned Derek from this chat? If Derek hasn't been banned from our chat already,
I hope he
advise
has.
every single mod to ban him because I honestly like. It's just this weird, creepy stuff. Like, he's got LollyCon going on his Twitter. He had that YouTube playlist of little girls. And then everything he talks about is porn all the time.
Didn't
and
you
it's
react
just-
to a video discussing Loli? What was his opinion on that? Man, I don't know if I could find it because oh god, this video. DSP react. Let's see. Maybe it's just anime? Oh god. Man. You get a lot of weird stuff. You type in anime just in this video itself, in this channel itself. Uh, maybe Loli, maybe. Oh yeah, here you go.
Hello.
What is his opinion on this thing? For the record, I don't like Loli shit. It was terrible when I played Fire Emblem Three Houses and I was stuck with that stupid character at the end. I wanted to like do the Edelgard route and I was stuck with fucking Church. And I was stuck with that. It was bullshit. Fuck that game. Great game, but that ending, like it like come on, dog.
Next video will be the last. The whole topic of this is so weird to me. Like, let's see how this guy tackles it. But to me, this is the weirdest shit that this is even part of any culture. Okay?
A loli is, well, I'm not sure on the exact definition, but what it's used for now, and for what I'm talking about, is a drawn or animated female that looks or is extremely young, like under 16. Yeah, that sounds creepy, as any normal-minded person would think. But peds seem to use some advanced mental gymnastics, that because the girl in the anime or whatever is technically over 18
Why are they
years
using
old,
JoJo?
they aren't
Come
creeps.
on.
But today,
makes no
I'm going to
sense.
explain in a way you can't argue against why liking lollies in that way makes you a ped. And if you're getting angry just hearing me say that, you of all people should keep watching.
Yeah, it's so weird to me. I don't understand this culture. And, you know, you get exposed to things on the internet. I didn't even know that this existed. Okay?
But you
when I
watched
was
anime,
younger.
dude.
And then as the internet got more prominent, and you start just finding shit on the internet, you find out about different kinds of culture over in Japan and stuff. And apparently this is an ingrained part of their culture, both in manga and anime and stuff. It's a thing. And it's like, I guess it boils down to, in Japan, their age of consent / the age when you're considered a legal adult is much, much lower.
I think
than it is in
that
the United
changed
States.
recently too. It's not the same
Here
as
it's
it was
18.
before. And again, like a lot of people in Japan probably also wanted to change as well because you know not everyone in Japan is a hive mind. Just saying.
You have to be 18 years of age
But whatever.
to make legal decisions and be considered a legal adult. But I guess in Japan it's much lower. I don't know exactly where or like what the age is. I think someone had said earlier, like weeks ago, it's like 15 or something like that. It's way younger. And so over there they have this culture of like gross perversions about like younger girls
Okay.
could be considered, you know, desirable objects sexually. It's disgusting. It really is. Like, to me, that's disgusting. I think it's really gross, you know, and I don't delve into it. I know it exists. I keep hearing that term, so I know it exists, but you know, I've stayed away from it on purpose because I want nothing to do with it. It's like, dude, this is fucking really weird shit. This whole cultural thing. Now, maybe it's just the internet hyper focuses on the weird shit. And so you hear about it and stuff. It was
I mean,
13
this
last
video
year.
kind of brought
You're
up saying
considered an
like if
adult
you
at
liked
the age
it
of
in
13
that
in
way,
Japan.
it's
Oh my
it's fucked
God.
up.
So
Like
there you go. I mean, completely
whatever.
young, underdeveloped people are being considered legal adults. And so their culture has this weird shit about it. It's just fucking weird, man. Now, the thing is, I know for a fact that in human history, there used to be cultures where you would have arranged
Oh my
marriages where
God,
like
dude.
young
Like-
girls would be married to adult men, right? It's like, what the fuck?
You're
It's
watching a
really-
video about
that's
Loli
really,
and
really bad.
he's now
And I
he's
think what's
talking
happened
about
is over
like
time, our
this.
cultures have changed.
What
and
about the
we've
anime?
learned better, but some cultures don't. Some cultures just stay stuck in the past.
Japan
that's where
changes
this
though. Like
whole
Japan's
thing,
not
this
like rigid.
movement
Like there's been
has
progress in
originated
Japan.
from,
Like
right?
what are you talking
That
about?
people find this weird perversion
Whatever.
of having attraction to young girls, and yeah, it's disgusting.
So
Anyway, it's only 5-minute video. Let's see.
So
what
then
he
why
has to
didn't you
say.
ban
If you
Derek?
really want to argue, I'm down. Drop your stupid comment below after the video.
This guy's
Now let's
really,
get
this
into
guy
it.
is really like slamming people who are into it. As you can see, he's being very offensive towards them.
Okay.
My opinion. Before I get into the stupid arguments, I want to disclose what I believe. It's really basic. Lollies are bad, lollies are for perverts, saying a character is 18 doesn't make them 18, and if you enjoy them in that way, you should be on a registry.
See, the thing is, again, if the legal age of adulthood in Japan is like
Oh my
13, like
God.
you guys just said, I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just
But
going off what
it
people are saying in my
changed
chat.
though. I'm pretty sure
If that's the case.
Okay, I'm like repeating because I did react to this before. But the only thing about this video I'll just say, like, what does like this necessarily, like, you know, you're drawing a character in a show, like, you are technically just saying, oh, they're this age. But I do think I know kind of what this person's saying when they bring this up. But I just think, like, in general, when you're talking about anime or just anything that's created, you are just saying, hey, this character is this age. Like, but I know, like, maybe, like, as an argument, like, you're saying this to someone else, that's one thing. Yeah, whatever. Like,
Then why
kinda get
are
it.
you saying, oh, well, that girl is 18? Then why even say that? In Japan, the legal age is 13, correct? Is it just because they want to be able to, like,
But it's a worldwide medium, and, you know, maybe it's not good for other cultures that they want to see their main character, like, do weird shit, you know?
this kind of content outside of Japan, so they have to say that? But in reality, everyone's like, yeah, it's 16 now. I'm being told it's been changed to 16. But
Okay,
it
so
was
they did-
13 at one point,
Okay,
right?
so they did change it to 16. Okay.
But that's what I mean. Like,
so they updated.
are they just lying on purpose? Are they saying, no, actually, we know that this girl in this piece
What?
of art or whatever it was actually, you know, supposed to be based like 13, 14, 15. But because we want to be able to sell this content
But
outside of Japan,
What if like then that would show up in the original dialogue or the original like source material, but you know, this is a very wide
we say that she's
topic.
actually 18, right? That way it covers the bases internationally. But it's fucking bullshit.
But again, this
right?
video I think is
It's
only
it's
talking about
gross,
people
man.
who
Ugh.
Okay, let's get to the video.
Argument 1 / the Reddit argument. So to start off, I'll explain what I call the Reddit argument, which is basically this. Although the girl looks very young, her character is above 18, so I'm not a ped.
What?
This argument is stupid. Here's why. Although the character is technically 18, 27, 5,000 or whatever, her face and body are that of a very
Right.
young girl.
That's what you're attracted
And
to.
what they're attracted to isn't the fact she's legal, quote unquote. They're attracted to her body and face,
Right.
which match that of an underage girl.
Gross.
And let me say, the creators of a character usually just make them a legal age so they can have better publishing range,
Exactly.
or just to
They could
satisfy their
they
perverted
could
urges
sell it
without
legally.
revealing them directly. And usually that would be the end of the argument, but peds do have a rebuttal. A bad one, but one nonetheless.
But I don't
Argument two
appreciate the JoJo
/
slander. Why is
the
JoJo
she isn't
here?
real argument.
Leave JoJo out of this.
The she isn't real argument states that, since the girl isn't real and is just a drawing, I'm not a ped. This one is infuriating and very easily beaten. For one, a character when drawn, it's easy to tell roughly what their age is. And I'll show you some examples of all this in the anime style. How old is this man here? About 60 to 65. And this woman? Yeah, about 20 to 25. And how about this one? Yeah, about 9 to 13. So once again, although it is just a drawing, what these peds are attracted to is the girl in the drawing.
But what if it's
who looks like,
supernatural?
and say it with me, a very young child.
Like, I mean, if you think about it, man. But, like, this is what he thinks. He's like, he agrees with this video, by the way. So let's go to modern DSP.
Just a bad look for you to be associated with it, Phil. And I think if you were to cut this cancer off at the legs and just throw him the fuck out, I think you would win a lot of respect and support from
Yeah.
people, straight
Yeah.
up.
See,
Yeah,
and
I know,
here's
for
the thing, what
sure.
you just said. So if you were to cut the cancer off, but the thing is, he's not me. He's just a dude in my chat.
He's not
But-
real.
So I
But
get what you're
perception
saying.
is
The
reality.
The only
Again, this dude, so in this video, he was like, oh, it's disgusting. Oh, I don't agree with it. You know what? If he doesn't agree with Loli culture and all this other shit, right? That's what he says. And people being attracted to kids is fucked up and disgusting. And now he's like, well, I don't know. I should ban Derich. Okay, like, you know, I don't know.
The only reason
Yeah.
that association ever existed is because my detractors went and stalked the guy to figure out the information. I'm not being sympathetic to what he's doing. I'm sympathetic to the fact that
100%.
this
So what's your
guy never
opinion?
did that in my chat. And then the rules now are going to become, oh, well, now if you ever do anything that's deemed immoral, Phil might ban you from his chat.
The pedophilia
And I don't want
sort of
people
like
to think that.
surpasses
You know what I mean?
a lot of immoral stuff.
You
in my
know-
opinion, and also, you know, we have a lot of viewers here. If someone went and found something on one of the viewers, and it was like they're fucking, you know, pedophile,
But
this,
what kind
that,
of
the other.
what kind of argument is that? That, oh, if I do this, I might have to ban. I might have to go on a moral crusade. It's like, who's gonna sit there and be like, I can't believe you banned Derich, and he only had weird, creepy playlists, and he, you know, like, come on, man, why did you ban that? Like, no. Again, he broke chat rules anyway by spamming nonstop all the time. Secondly, like, he has, you know, this is like a very easy thing to say. I don't agree with what he's doing. I don't want this guy in my community and be associated with me, and then you distance from the guy. He can't even do that. Dude, like, come on. He was more like gung-ho to be like, yeah, fuck Loli, yeah, this is fucked up in this video. But here, he's just like, I you know, like, guys, he did outside my streams. Okay.
We'd surely ban them without even a thought, right? Especially if it came out to be true, and you're like, okay, this guy, and it's not like it's like a rumor. It's this.
Again, he did not answer. He did not answer. If he was convicted, would you ban him? He didn't even answer that.
Guy on his main channel, you click view channel, and he's got it open. Like, he's like, here it is, guys. And we really think that I know what you're saying, that your detractors will be crazy.
Like, it's
and
insane. He needed an intervention to come to this conclusion when he could have done this himself, like a big boy.
Connor can go after other people, but they'll do that anyway. And I'd respect you a lot if you just got rid of him. And, you know, it sort of puts a precedent to, I will not let people who believe in this shit in my chat.
I'm just saying the proof is like overwhelming. Like,
Yeah.
it's undeniable when you look at it. It's just too overwhelming to deny. So
Okay. Done.
Okay.
All right. So, I mean, I'll be honest. Here's my final statement on it. It makes me sad for two reasons. Number one, it makes me sad to know that this guy does all that shit, because I heard it for like 2 years now. And I'm just like, it's just the detractors, right? Maybe they're exaggerating. They're making it up. And
Yeah.
I mean, the philosophy
He was in denial for 2 years. No way, man. Derich is cool. Derech's cool.
I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to look into it, because if I do, I've broken my
But then
own.
why doesn't he ban him for spamming in chat? Like, again, this video does not make him look good, like, at all, because he should have been banned anyway, because he broke chat rules.
moral code of that. I'm not going to
Whatever.
look and stalk and harass my own viewers. So that's why I haven't done it until today. But now that you guys have said this to me, I believe you. I don't think you have anything to gain by lying to me. So I will be banning him when he shows up, because you know undoubtedly he's going to show up in my
Yeah.
chat this week, and I will ban him on all of my channels. Okay, that's
a
number one.
righteous decision,
Let's go.
King.
Well,
Off
I'm
with his
I
head.
know it's
Here's
tough.
why I'm sad, all right?
Yeah.
To be honest with you guys.
But he just said he was sad because he didn't think it was true. And you think, okay, fair enough, I guess. But no, he's still sad.
From what
It's
I
been
know
tough.
of the guy in my chat, he actually was like a good person in the chat.
He
And
seemed
that's what's
nice.
sad
He
is
seemed nice. Yeah.
he's a nice guy. He adds nice
Dude, he only talked to DSP in his chat. He barely talked to anyone else, and people were annoyed with the shit he was asking.
comments. I mean, he's needy. He
Whatever.
always asks the chat, "Can he talk to me? Why is
Needy.
he not talking to me?" Right? But
And I like that he's a nice guy and he's needy. Man, you know, like sometimes I get annoyed when I see people just like keep doing that, and I just go out of my way to ignore them sometimes. Like, I think it was 2 years ago, maybe last year. There was someone in my chat was streaming, I don't remember what game, and I talked to this person for a while, and then like I just wanted to like, you know, let someone else talk, and I just stopped reading because he was giving like a lot of paragraph responses, and I was like, okay, you know, like I appreciate this person's chatting, but it's like, you know, I kind of want to like just do my own thing or commentate on my own or whatever. And then he's like, why are you talking to me? You kind of give me that kind of response. And I was like, dude, relax. You know, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Whatever. I didn't say, you're an idiot. I was like, oh, no, man. Like, you know, just because I don't respond to all of the stuff you're typing doesn't mean I'm not reading it or whatever. I just, you know, want to just relax. You know, you're typing a lot, and I just want to like focus on what I'm streaming, and I also want to talk to other people in the chat as well that are there, whatever. Like, it's stuff like that that's like you have to toe the line as well, because you also don't want to like sound like an asshole. But you know, sometimes it does get annoying when you have a person that's like, "Why are you talking to me? Talk to me! Talk to me! Talk to me!" It's like, Jesus Christ, you know, that kind of shit. But DSP just is like, this guy was nice, but he was very needy. Like, I don't know. Like, at least that's how I feel about that. Like, you know, sometimes you just don't want to keep talking to one person all night.
But he has very nice positive
Wait,
comments.
what?
You know,
He
Can you
brings
explain that?
candy.
What does that mean?
But Phil,
well, he needs attention.
let's
You know what I'm
just try
saying? He's
not
one
to
of these.
talk positive about the pedophile,
Now,
right, Phil?
now he needs attention, man.
No, I'm not. No, I just understand.
Like,
If you
when
separate
he
that,
goes
because
to
that
the
was been my
playgrounds,
philosophy.
he's got candy for
Dude,
the kids.
When this guy showed up
He
to
was
the
a great
chat, he came with this
actor.
entire van full of candy. It was so
This is-
nice. Everyone
this
got
is
their
like-
favorite.
This is like you know someone for a while, and you only know, like, so let's say you have you're at work, and someone at work is someone you're friendly with, right? And you're like, wow, they're a nice guy. Then you find out 2 years later that this guy's a scumbag, like something like this. That's the feeling I have about it. But you guys are absolutely correct. So I'm gonna
Again, he had it. It was fine earlier. This part, I don't think we needed to hear. He could have said, like, you know, he was a nice chatter, but yeah, what he did outside I can't abide by, and I'm gonna ban him. He couldn't even just say that, leave it at that.
get rid of him because I trust you.
Yeah.
God bless you,
Well,
Phil. I
everyone
appreciate
allows
that. Josh,
Guys.
give us your thoughts here, and then we'll go back to Phil, and we'll do a few more rounds of questions here.
Just real quick here. Tetrabacks with 25 gifts.
Wow, big
Thank
support.
you so much, and appreciate all you here. All right, sorry, go ahead.
It's not a unique problem, because there's another person who has a large following called Chantal, and her top moderator for years was this guy who got outed as a convicted sex offender, and you know, she finds out and it's like, well, that sucks. He's been a facet of the streams for
And you know,
3 years.
This case should also happen to Chris Chan, if you think about it. Like, over the years, like, Chris Chan would try to, like, I think they supported someone on Patreon, then someone told the person who runs it, like, who owns that Patreon, oh yeah, you know that Christian is a fucked up person, and they showed this person all this stuff about Christian, and then it's like, okay, I don't want this person as my patron. I don't remember the person that Christian supported. They blocked Christian from Patreon and did not want anything to do with them, and that was because, like, she was made aware that Christian is fucked up. You know,
Years
you know
now,
what I mean?
but bye-bye.
It's
Bye-bye.
it's sick and twisted. And you know, we respect that you're doing that. I know it's sort of, but like everyone was saying this, and I get it. You don't want to listen to your detractors because they do exaggerate or lie about some stuff, sure. So you're like, but we're just telling you straight up, this is a 110%. It's not
Okay.
even question. But yeah, I respect that, man.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
dude. Yeah.
Everyone's saying thank you to agree to ban a certain person. All right. And when, you know, again, just for the record, on YouTube, you cannot just ban someone. They actually have to be on your stream or in your content to ban them. So until that happens, I can't do it. But when it happens, I
Of
will do it.
course.
Period. And I don't even
Yeah.
really have anything else to say about that subject. I talked about it enough. I just want it behind me at this point. I've had enough.
He had enough, just behind him. Just wants to get it over with. That's all. That's the only reason he wanted to ban Derich. Not because he disagreed with Derich's actions, just that he just wants people to stop talking about Derich.
Seriously. I just had enough, man. El Chupacabra, thank you for the super chat. Good on you on the commitment for the ban. Yes, the ban is coming. The ban is coming. Don't worry. It has to happen. At this
Look, all these people have to remind him, because I guarantee you, if no, like, I almost wish no one pestered him like this about it, because I would like to see what he would do when Derich shows up, and if no one said anything at that point, because it would expose, would he even do it? But since all these people are like telling him, do it, do it, do it, he's like, okay, I have to do it because I did say it.
at this point, okay? I am proud of you for putting your foot down for what's right, getting rid of a twisted demon. Whatever that means.
Whatever that means. Whatever that means. He bans, like, again, he didn't ban it because he generally didn't agree with what Derich was doing. Like, again, all of this argument, there was nothing substantial or interesting about DSP's arguments. Like, you could probably have more of an argument with this, which is why this video exists as well, that people are having arguments about lolis and shit. But there's literally an argument there, more so than what DSP is arguing in favor of Derich. It just blows my mind. They're like, oh, Derich is this fucked up individual. And all Derich said was like, well, the trolls will win if I ban him. It's like, dude, like, that's not important. Like, what do you think of Derich's actions? Like, this dude cannot debate to save his life. He can't make good arguments. He can't even make an argument. Because all his arguments were not good. They weren't good arguments. And he had nothing to say. They kept pressing. And again, I'm gonna watch the rest, but I'm gonna try to find that part where they literally told him if he was convicted, would you ban him? Because he didn't answer that.
All right. Thank you very much. Hail to the king. I really don't know what on earth that means.
What does that mean? Okay.
Getting rid of a twisted demon. Exercise the demons, right? Okay. Excuse me. Andy did a super chat. Without a doubt, the biggest W is banning you-know-who. Sometimes to evolve means to leave the old shell behind. Andy and Ash want you to succeed. Again, I honestly don't see why this was such a big thing put on me.
Look at this. I love that Andy was there, and this is what he heard, and he doesn't think that this does not sound disingenuous. This dude doesn't know why he's banning Derich, or why he should. He's really like, I don't know, like, okay, like, he did this outside my streams. So it was very clear throughout the whole debate of that Derich segment, nothing stuck in his little pig brain. And they wanted champion Phil as the king. Okay.
Because it you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't stop someone from acting one way. You know what I'm saying? So banning someone from chat doesn't solve the problem, correct?
Correct.
And the person, they do not have an association with me. They're just a stream viewer. So to me, it's like, I don't get why this is an association, why people are upset anyway, but...
Again, he tells us every day that people are, like, we trolls are responsible for our audience. But when we hold him responsible for his audience, why should I be responsible for my audience? They're different people. But man, we all have to look at our audience and be responsible for them, but he can't be responsible for his. How is that fair?
But I'll do it. Whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever. In truth, this is me being
I'll
very
do it, whatever. Again, he says this to Andy, and they don't think this guy is being disingenuous. Like, he did that whole debate and nothing stuck.
Honest with you guys, again, I was honest on the show. I didn't even know that person. I didn't know any, like, the extent of anything. I've had people coming to me saying, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, but I don't look into it. Because, like I said, my philosophy is I don't want to stalk my viewers.
He didn't have to look into OIC, but he knew that OIC was on a detractor stream, and he not harassed, but said, like, why were you there, man? You got some brains, why? All this stuff about that. But being told Derich has, like, sus playlists, he's like, I don't know, that has nothing to do with me, man. Like, come on.
I don't want to have to follow my viewers around the internet and be responsible.
You don't have to, but if someone brings it up and you can, like, look at the evidence, you can make a decision. The fact that he didn't even make an informed decision one way or the other, it is not a good idea. Like, this dude was being told that this dude has sus playlists. Look at this playlist he has. And instead of just even saying, I don't know if that playlist is real, you're showing me a screen cap, how do I know it's legit? When I go to the channel, it's not there, but I think he did private it, after people found it. But he didn't say anything like that. It was just, yeah, they show me stuff, but I don't know, man. I didn't look into it. But, like, you can't. But then when people are, like, confronting him and telling him these things, he doesn't ask any follow-up questions or like any like validation to the evidence or anything. Like he's not critical to anything he's being told. Instead he's like, I don't know. Like this is shit you do when you're on trial. When you're like in a deposition, you're like, okay, just say I don't know, and there you go. Like, but dude, you could just at least be a little bit inquisitive or critical of what's being told to you. If you're being told that Derich is this, and you're not sure if he is, then you should be asking, how do you know that? And then they'll say, well, look at this. And you say, well, yeah, but this is like just a playlist. How do I know there's anything that? How do I know what he's looking at these videos for? Like, do you know for sure that he's looking for that reason or for this other reason? Like, you know, whatever. And a lot of and he could argue that, sure, he could argue that a lot of this is speculative. But the fact that, like, he didn't even look into anything to have an opinion, to me, just says that he doesn't care enough. And that's not, and for a person who runs a stream that cares about the community he's curating, that's not, like, appropriate, you know? He should be at least inquisitive of what's being said about a stream viewer. Because, again, like, if let's say that all this stuff that people said about Derich is incorrect and it's false, shouldn't DSP find that out and then he can say, guys, this isn't true, stop harassing Derich, this isn't even his channel, man, or whatever. But he didn't even do that, so he kind of just left Derich by the wolves and said, you're gonna stay here so the trolls will attack you forever. Like, it's not a good look for him.
Each and every one of them and what they're doing outside of the realm of my streams, nor should I be. And now it seems like that's what I'm supposed to be doing. No, I can tell you right now, you know, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to sit here and look into your guys' lives and shit. That's messed up, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I don't, you know, I'll do it because it's what everyone wants, but I don't necessarily.
He'll do it because that's what everyone wants. But not because he has an opinion. Again, he has no opinion. No opinion of what people are saying other than, yeah, man, if this is true, man. Yeah, man, I agree, man. But, you know, like, come on.
Agree with that philosophy, you know? No, I don't. Again, I don't follow him on Twitter. I've never been to his YouTube page. I don't do any of that shit. I have nothing to do with any of it at all. Thank you to the $250,000 man for a $50 super chat. He says, good job banning that loser. This is to your future success. Thank you. I found you via This Is How You Don't Play and only ever didn't support you because you were harboring a known you-know-what without your knowledge according to the stream.
P
That's
word.
right.
It's a slur.
Oh, no. Without knowledge according to the stream. Right. I respect you so much more that you're getting rid of him, but it's a terrible look to say a prominent member of the community being that doesn't fall on you when you lean and ban anyone who says something mildly opposite to your opinions. Because they did it in the chat. You now understand the difference between they did something.
Derich is in your chat, but like, again, this is not something that DSP wasn't aware of. He knew people were saying this about him. Didn't like look into it to at least understand why they're saying this. To say one or the other, like, you know, if he at least looked into it. And then said, and still defended Derich, let's say, at least he looked into it. But all he said was, I didn't look into it, and, you know, I don't want to ban because of the trolls. Like, this is not a good argument to have, man.
Something in the chat in front of me against the rules. You violated the rules. You're gone.
And guess what he did? Guess what, stupid? As I said earlier, even all of this aside, he was spamming in chat every day. Every stream he was there, he would spam chat. Isn't that against the rules? Why wasn't he banned? But he wasn't. Hello?
Versus, oh, I just through hearsay heard something. If you ran
yeah, but if you're hearing stuff through hearsay about someone that's like watching your streams and is a prominent member, not just like a dude that just sits there lurking, a dude that you constantly talk to, and they say this, at least you would probably be inclined to see what they're saying is true. Because again, Derich was being like harassed over this, correct? And if a viewer is being harassed over something, shouldn't you look into what they're being harassed about to see is there any merit? And then like ban him if there is merit to it. And if there's not, and if you're not satisfied with what's there, that's showing you what Derich is all about, and it's not enough because so far we only see just porn nonsense on his Twitter. He has a sus playlist on YouTube. That's all we've seen, and just some like sus chat posts. That's all we know of Derich right now. And if that's not enough for DSP, at least he would look into that and say that's not enough for me to say to condemn him for that, because these things are very like minor or whatever the fuck. You know, like he could make an argument for that, but instead he just says I don't know and has no interest in knowing what was being said about him to even understand it. Like he wasn't informed about anything, and that's not a good look. Like he could have said like I didn't know, but the fact that people were telling him this, he had no good response that was anything meaningful to what was being discussed, like at all. And then to say, oh, I banned him because that's what people want, and all this stuff is not really a good argument to even have.
Restaurant, and someone who's a known criminal walked into your restaurant, but you don't have evidence that they're a known criminal. Do you throw them out of your restaurant, or do you know what I'm saying? This is everyone's welcome in the chat.
But this is like, I mean, sometimes they ban people for stuff because of who they are. You know, do you think a sex offender is gonna have an easy time going through life once they're out and all this stuff? They have to tell people that are on a registry, like they can't like move, they can't live in certain areas. You know, hello.
You know what I'm saying? I maybe you don't get that, and I'm not going to argue the semantics of this over and over because I already have argued it. So there you go. He's already going to be banned, so you can stop talking about it now. You were going to quit drinking today, but the banning of so and so is a moment to celebrate. Who knew that this was such a big deal? I certainly didn't. I really didn't think it was a big deal at all. I guess it was, but I wasn't aware. I got a few more shout outs. Bo Jangles did a super chat. Trolls expect you to know everyone's Twitter. You had no idea he was like that. It's more on chat for letting you know. Suffa Horse did a $20 super chat. Says burn all the you know what files.
You can't even say that. You can't even say burn the pedophiles. Okay, but where is the
So if
You know what I
Hitler
mean?
was on my stream and was still alive,
Yeah.
of mine who talks a lot in chat.
Channel, he's creeping
Mhm.
on little girls.
I don't condone any of that, but
Like, I'm trying to help you.
trying to help you?
You are
dude.
totally correct. That is, then they will just continue to bring this up with. It's a no-win situation.
like don't. And what I mean by that,
Twitter account, it's just straight up porn.
Oh, someone's kind of like an incel or weird or whatever, and
It's
or
three playlists
this
with
is like
hundreds of
fucked.
videos of just little girls
Yeah, this
doing
is like
innocuous things.
actually-
It's
Okay.
genuinely
Swear?
fucking creepy.
level I knew. Now I got to
And that, but I think
Channel who got money and
No. really what happened.
pieces of shit no matter what. And honestly, like we're telling you, right?
bad news, Phil, and
Yeah.
don't
it
get rid
gets
of
worse.
tolerate Derich either. And I honestly, about his porn, all he would win a lot.
I
But
get what you're
perception
saying.
is
is
reality.
The only fact
Percent.
is chat.
The pedophilia
And I don't want
sort of like and found something on one of the viewers, and it was like they're fucking, pedophile, this, that, the other. We'd surely ban them without even a thought, right?
Yeah.
Especially if it went and found
to think that
surpasses a lot of immoral stuff.
You
in my
know-
opinion, and also, we have a lot of viewers here. If someone went and found something on
Where
one of
is
the
this?
viewers, and it was like they're fucking, pedophile, this, that, the other, we'd surely ban them without even a thought, right? Especially if it came out to be true, and you're like, okay, this guy, and it's not like it's like a rumor. It's this guy on his main channel. You click view. Detractors will be a precedent to I will not let people who believe
done. All right, so here's now world code that I'm not gonna look and stalk and harass
Where
my
is
own.
this?
Then they will just continue to bring this up. Actors will look into your other views. I'll not want harder. You are totally.
No, I know, but
Owl and
find out who everyone is or have some
Mhm.
freaking loot.
So if he
he doesn't make anything I've done or ever. I mean, that's a good point.
Hitler 1488 was an active user on your. They have to be before you're like, well,
goes, I live in the same city.
Okay, here we go.
Whatever, right? Then would you ban him because it wasn't detractors?
Well,
But
how
he
would
was-
I find out about that? Like, how would I even know
A
that?
fan of yours goes, I live in the same city as him and I saw him on the news, for example.
Uh-huh. Okay.
what if it was Harvey Weinstein? Like, how bad?
Look,
does
he's
somebody
not
have
even.
to be
He didn't even answer the question. He's like, "Well, if it's true, would you ban him?"
Yeah.
before you're like, well, I don't want to associate with this guy.
So
You
if
know what I
Hitler
mean?
was on my stream and was still alive, would I ban Hitler? Right?
Yeah, if Adolf Hitler 1488 was an active user on your stream, would you ban him? Because he's only the Führer in Germany, and you don't know anything about that, right?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, that's a good point. But and I totally understand what you're saying. I do. Let me tell you,
That's a good point. Again, he didn't answer the question. He didn't answer it. He just said, "Yeah, you're right. I understand the point." Okay, but what? But answer. The dude asked like, "Well, if this was true, would you ban him?" And he didn't even answer. He didn't even
I've
answer.
gotten a lot of shit over this. And here's the funny part. What the fuck does this have to do with me? It's not even anything I've done or ever. I got to take shit because someone got dirt on a viewer of mine who talks a lot in chat or whatever. And again, the other things you've been told are not true. He's not a moderator. He doesn't regularly make any.
And like, look, this is the thing he's sticking to. That part's not true, which is innocuous and like not really. It doesn't change the point. But again, they asked him a question and he's not even answering. He's not even answering. Even the meme question of would you ban Hitler? He didn't even answer that. Another lowball question.
Any content for me. He's had one tier maker that I made. That's it. Like that's literally the extent of that. And then he talks.
Let's just so if he does have playlists of little girls on his channel, he's creeping on little girls. Do you disavow that behavior?
Oh, absolutely, I do.
Okay, that one he disavowed publicly, but guess what? Guess what, guys? Is because it's the most like straightforward question you could give someone. Do you agree that people that would you disavow someone creeping on little girls? Of course they're gonna say yes. Who would say no? But the other question is, if it's true, what's being said about Derich? Would you ban him? Like, would you ban a known pedophile, one that's been convicted? And he couldn't even answer that. He couldn't even say, yes, I would, of course. He couldn't even say that. But man, the other question that's like more about him, that's directed to him. He has to say yes. He has to say, of course, they disavow. But he can't say he'd ban Derich if he was convicted. Huh?
Absolutely.
Like this whole segment did not make DSP look good at all. It's not a good argument. Like I feel like after this, a normal YouTuber would make another video saying, guys, that video is that debate was not a good debate. It was fucked up or whatever. Like they would have to like explain themselves about how they did not answer anything correctly. But this dude was meandering around. He didn't like. He brings up like how he wasn't a supporter, he wasn't a moderator, he didn't make thumbnails or whatever the fuck. As I always say, like you even get that stuff right. But this is stuff that like Null got wrong on his own. But it didn't change the debate. Now, if you were to argue the stuff that they're bringing up may not even be true and it may not even be accurate or whatever the fuck, that's far more like, maybe tangible is the word for it, but like it's much more like relative to what is being discussed than saying, well, you got this other thing that's obtusely wrong or like not even relevant. Meanwhile, if you were to say that the evidence that people are saying is not solid evidence or whatever, it's speculative evidence or whatever, like that's a far more argument. That's an argument to have. But at the same time, it could also just be that he doesn't want to have that argument. He doesn't want to like say that and say, well, look, he has it or this and that. But you're not arguing about the existence. You're just saying like, you know, it's speculative what you're insinuating what Derich has those videos for. You know, it's sus. You could agree that it's sus, but you don't know the intent. But again, anyone can look at that and then just say like, look, he has this playlist. Then you look at Twitter and he's like talking about like common dicks and pussies and shit like that. You know, it's not a good image to have when those two things are presented to you. And he could just say, look, it's speculative, but you guys are right. This is fucked up, and I shouldn't allow this guy in my community because this guy is a degenerate that is not moral or ethical, whatever the fuck, you know, like. But instead he just doubles down on like, well, guys, you know, the trolls would win. I guess I'll ban because everyone wants him to. These are not like good points to have. Because even at the end, it's like a kid who's been yelled at by their parent and they don't understand why they were yelled at. So they're like, I guess I can't do this. I don't know, but whatever. I'm just not going to do it. I don't get it, but whatever. And it's like, you're not like showing you understood why you were punished in the first place. So you're going to have to like learn the lesson again. You know, that kind of thing. And that's what's going to probably happen. Derich will probably come back under a sock account that DSP will probably know. And people are going to insinuate a new viewer may be Derich. A Derich sock account, maybe. Or whatever. Like, it's just like, him acting this way, it doesn't do him any favors. If you just was like, I agree, this is fucked up, I'm going to ban him, then that's that. And if Derich comes back under sock accounts, he can just ban those sock accounts and all of a sudden move on. But instead, he just does this as if it's like just a gesture to please babies. You know, just, I'm going to please the loud few and they could finally shut up. So I'm just going to like give it to them. And that's it. And it's like, that's not the attitude to have. And that's how he perceives stuff. Like, his whole the trolls win is really just like a defeatist attitude. Instead of just banning Derich and then be like, yeah, I decided to take a stand, he was like, I guess I'll do it. And then he just submits the idea that people are just doing this to get attention and this and that. And it's like, this is like not the attitude to have. So, you know, I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from with this video. I know it's like a very sensitive topic when it comes to this, but at the end of the day, the way DSP covered it is just trash, and it's not good. And I don't think people should be rewarding him for this either. Just because he banned Derich doesn't mean he did it for the right reasons. From his own mouth, he doesn't even know why he had to. So why are we gonna give him a pat on the back for doing something he doesn't even understand why he did it in the first place? Like, again, it's one thing to at least, like, you can just, like, if he did this whole thing and ended with, like, this is all speculative and I don't want to ban it because this is not, like, tangible to me and I can't, like, and you guys can't prove intent or whatever, and you can disagree with that take and say it's stupid and he's an idiot all you want, but it's at least more of a take and more of a stance than just saying I don't know and I don't want and I don't care to know, and then say I'll ban it because you guys want me to. Like, that's not even a take and it's not even a stance. At least, like, if you were to just say it's speculative and I don't and I don't want to like participate in speculative evidence, that's more of a take, and it could also even be argued it may be reasonable to some extent. But for him to say I don't know, fuck this, I'll do it because you guys want me to, it's not a rational response. And I think, and that to me is like what I kept thinking about. That's why the other parts of this interview were white noise to me, because it's like, how can you say what he said and not think about it? Because again, it's not like he took a stance on anything. He just sat there and he didn't even understand it. He didn't understand why it. Again, he couldn't even answer the question. If he was convicted, would he ban him then? And he couldn't even answer that. Like, that says all you need to know. Like, he didn't know how to answer that. And I guarantee if you told him that Sean guy, because when Sean gave him that $300 tip, He did not know at that point. No one knew at that point that this dude was a pedophile and all this other shit. It came out after the fact. So I guarantee if you told DSP that dude was a pedophile, he would say, "Who cares? He came by and gave money. Is he here now? Like whatever." Like he would give you that kind of response. And this is the guy that wants that people are lauding as a dude that finally stood up to Derich when he didn't even do it intentionally. And there's even rumors now that like Derich came on an actual account and say, DSP, I emailed you my name and I'll come back under a new name. And that could very much be a troll saying that to just make this an issue. And that's where we're gonna be now, because he couldn't even at least take a stand. Because if he took a stand, wouldn't he just ban Derich's anyway? And then if Derich emailed him his name, right, his new name, he would just ban that new name, correct? So it's like, this isn't gonna go anywhere, and it's gonna be nonsense moving forward because he doesn't have a stance. He doesn't believe in anything he was talking about, and that's what pisses me off a lot about DSP. A lot is that he can't even like take a stand for anything he believes in or what is presented to him. And I said this back during the Vidar thing, where Kiwi Farms just wanted DSP to either say he condones Vidar or he disavows Vidar for what he's doing on Kiwi Farms, threatening people and all this stuff. And the fact that during that period of time where his actual fans were being doxxed, like they were threatening him, like, look, we'll dox your forum members if you don't say one or the other. And DSP gives a statement, but then just devalues the statement moving forward, exposing it as fake. And that to me was like, I lost all respect because this dude cannot even like come to a conclusion, and it seeps into his entire being. His content, he's not himself. He's just taking other people's personality and projecting that onto his own streams. All the stuff, the King bit is not his bit. He's just using it because someone else gave it to him, and he's running it to the ground. He's not doing anything different with this. It is so lazy, and this dude just cannot even stand for himself. Or a viewer. Like, that's the other thing. Derich is a fan and likes DSP, right? And what does it show? What does it say to Derich that DSP couldn't even like be bothered to defend him? Again, like, in Derich's mind, he probably doesn't see himself as this creepy guy that everyone says he is. And DSP can't even be informed one way or the other. Like, instead, he gets this, and it's like, so you're gonna ban me because you don't even know why? Like, isn't that kind of fucked up? But no, we obviously DSP just is so smart and rational, right? This is a very rational decision. Like, this is like bullshit to behave this way, to not even understand. The fact he doesn't even want to understand what is being said, it's like, I understand he doesn't want to address it because it's from detractors, but to a degree, it's about a viewer and they're harassing a viewer, correct? So when you want to at least understand, then you can find something out and then defend it. But of course, he can't defend even his own fucking viewers. He can't do that. Every instance, every time that there's a mild assault or attack onto his viewers, he is nowhere to be found. They're the first to be thrown under the bus. They're all there to be cannon fodder for anything. Why do you think he's more open to talk to Keem? He's more open to attack Duty all of this time because he has more bodies that can be thrown into the wood chipper if anything goes south. But before, he perceived that he has a very small audience, so he couldn't do those things because then he would have nobody. So now that he has a big audience, it's more people he can just throw to the wood chipper and not think about because he doesn't give a fuck about the people who watch him. So this is the kind of shit that is being called king. This is your king. This is why I'm against the monarchy. See, if this was a democracy, we would be able to vote this guy out, say fuck you, Philip Burnell, and institute a brand new streamer by the people who voted. So, I think America should get involved. whoever wins the presidency of America, they should have the platform of we got to stop Phil Burnell from streaming, and we got to institute a democracy in DSP gaming. It is a dictatorship over there. We got to institute a new dude. Bring in democracy. Let the people vote who should host DSP gaming, and get this guy out. He sucks. He's a piece of shit. Down with the monarchy. Obviously. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully you understand where I'm coming from and all this stuff. It's always a tricky discussion because it's it's a very sensitive topic. So hopefully you get where I'm coming from, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.
Time to skedaddle
bye-bye.
out of here.
All right. Don't worry, guys. I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
Time to skedaddle on out of here.
Bye bye. And also, don't be fake. Keep it real. And I just trying to get a good vibe. I'm just trying to get a good vibe. Okay, guys. That's all. All right. Bye bye.